guys, Rob here. We're gonna do another guitar rhythm track run through. Last week we did Contrast. It was fun. I was glad some people got something out of it. I only play like a couple chords in every song, so I didn't know if it was like worth going through like a run through. But yeah, after the reaction, I was like, yeah, keep doing those. There's a couple more chords in this. Maybe not. Maybe it's about the same. But there's like some change ups in this. We're gonna do No Age this week. So I'm excited for that. It's the first song we wrote for Harmony. We did it like a year before we did the album with Taylor Larson, just to like try it out and like try out his studio and find out about that. It's an exciting song. It's just like it kind of set the tone for what we did moving forward, and like we tried out like the synth bass and the intro and stuff, and like that riff started. The intro riff was like I wanted to do like an outfield style like 80s like rocker part, and it was like then the song like evolved and we got layers, and like my guitar became something more like I'm gonna give you my magic special secret sauce here. That's not that deep at all, but people always think that and this has been for every band I've ever been in, people always think I come up with these like magical chords or like something so deep, but realistically I just like keep it simple. And like for rich people, it's been like pretty much the whole time I'm either doing something that's like a single note that's like with a like something drony with it, like an open, or every once in a while like a power chord or something, but rarely. But since Grace Session, I do a lot of these chords. I just call them diamond chords because the shape of your fingers is like kind of looks like a diamond, and I do them all over the place, just with whatever key the song's in. Backstep. No Age is literally the same exact thing, right? I just move my middle finger around. It's just cool. So I'll get into that real quick. Song starts out. We got it up here. Oh, that's in I'm gonna start up with the actual chords here. I don't want to lose anybody. So on the 5th string, got the 7th fret, middle finger, right? Finger placement kind of is key with stuff like this because the way I'm gonna have you moving around, it's the way that I found is easiest for me to be able to hit each chord, right? So anyway, middle finger, 5th fret, 5th string, 7th fret, index finger, 6th fret on the 4th string, right? And then pinky finger on the 3rd string, 8th fret. And then my ring finger down here on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, right? So it's like kind of like a diamond. I don't know if you can see that. Like, I don't know, from my angle it kind of looks like. Maybe I'm just lying to myself. Anyway. So diamond. Why did I come up with that? I don't know. But anyway, it seems like a diamond. It's that chord, and then the second chord is literally just me letting my ring finger off that 7th fret 2nd string and just letting that be open. So when that acoustic guitar comes in the intro, I'm just going, I felt the whisper of a through space led by a voice that lived on however it goes. It's back and forth on that, right? And then we probably probably get.
I spin slip on the board still left unfilled.
Just left here we go. Keep it pretty simple for that. That's right after that intro, we're just going back and forth like. Then there's that hit of like. So over that, the rhythm guitar is just going. Right? So same chords from the intro, with that little lift off. Just halfway through, you're gonna lift off that ring finger from the 2nd string, 7th fret. Cool. And you can do this cool thing with your hand too, whatever that. I don't know what that is. That's like a non-conscious. I don't know what I'm doing there. So anyway, then the chorus. The chorus is where we do the main chords that are like the whole song, right? So I'm gonna get into that now. It's the first chord, and then I'm literally just gonna take my middle finger, move it up to the 6th string, 7th fret. So from the 5th string, 7th fret, and then to the 6th string, 7th fret. And depending on where you're at with playing guitar and stuff like that, maybe sometimes when you move a finger around like that, like you'll mute. Like I don't want to hear this 5th string. I don't want to hear that at all. So what I want to do is just like kind of naturally with like the fat of my finger down there, just kind of mute that. Because I don't need that, right? Like I just want this chord, right? So I want 6th string, 7th fret, and then I want down to the 4th string, 6th fret. I want the 3rd string, 8th fret, and I want the 2nd string, 7th fret. And then the whole time, I should have mentioned this earlier, but the whole time, you can just play the highest string, you can just play it open the whole time. I always do. That's not always the case for all music, like you can't always just be playing open strings, but I also do purposely try to write songs like so that I can play open chords because I just like that feel. Anyway, so that's it. So that's first 2 chords are, now we move that middle finger. And then the third chord, it's like a little bit of a switch up here because we're gonna like flip the hands over real quick. We're gonna move that pinky up to the 9th fret on the 6th string. We're gonna have that middle finger still on the 5th string, 7th fret, and then that index is also still gonna be on that 6th string, that 4th string, 6th fret, right? But then we have to move this ring finger real quick to the 8th fret of the 3rd string. You're gonna see all this is all gonna be in tabs too. I know I'm not like the best at like articulating this stuff. Right? That's the 3rd chord, right? And then we're gonna jump over, we're gonna do another big flip, right? We're gonna real quick jump to index finger at the 5th fret of the 6th string. Ring finger on the 5th string, 7th fret, and then we're gonna do the middle finger on the 4th string, 6th fret, and then again, the pinky on 3rd string, 8th fret. So anyway, and again, you can play both strings down here open, so they're fine. Those ones they're like in key or whatever with like whatever the chords I'm playing are. So you can always play those open chords. Anyway, the chorus is. So here's an interesting bit. Sometimes you write a song and the intention is just to have like these up and down like eighth notes like, and sometimes that's what sounds good. you know, sometimes you want that like straight beat, right? And then sometimes you want this jump around like. What happens for me is most of the time in the studio, I do a bunch of like dancing around. And then I play it live, and since I'm singing, I just go. You know, a little bit less. But then sometimes the energy is right, or I'm like in the zone, and like live I play all this stuff too. So I'm just saying that to say like, I think with recordings, it really matters, like all your like little articulations and because that's something that's like, you have the comfort to sit down and like do it like correct, and like I look at recordings and live performance as like almost two separate things. Like to me, live performance is like the pure thing. It's like the energy, like it's, you know, it's a lot more based on like the people than just like us doing our instruments correct, or like the technical end of things. Like you want the technical end of things, you want things to sound good. That's what allows for that energy, right? But yeah, for the most part, I'm like, I try to write things simple so that I can, you know, knowing that I'm going to play a show with these songs, like I want the energy, I want to be allowed to have that energy, right? So yeah, that's how I write this stuff. And yeah, there's one more change up. So in the verse here, you know, got this verse. It's the same thing, just clean guitars. So anyway, then we're gonna skip up a little. Also, that chorus is sick. Con wrote a bass line for it that I think is like the main coolest thing about it. This is an unofficial bass tab plug, but the bass line for that is like. I just love the bass line. It's the. So here we come out of that chorus, and it's the same chorus as before, right? This main like. But here's where we get into like a little bit of a change up. The second verse, that might be the like only change up in the whole song. But that goes, we come in and we're gonna get the middle finger on the 7th fret of the 6th string, the ring finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string. We're gonna get that pinky on the 8th fret of the 4th string. I might be lying actually. No, yeah, we want the index finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string. And then we want the pinky on 8th fret, 3rd string, right? And that's where the second verse comes in. We come right out of that chorus. And we go. I haven't been singing much lately. Anyway, don't judge me. But yeah, this second verse comes in. It's that chord I just described. We got 7, 7, 6, 8, right? And then to that the third chord from the chorus, actually, the 9 on the 6th string, 7 on the 5th string, 6 on the 4th string, and 8 on the 3rd string. And then back to that first chord of 7, 7, 6, 8. Which is, this is the same chord as the final chord of the chorus, where it's like. 5 on the 6th string, 7 on the 5th string, 6 on the 4th string, and 8 on the 3rd string, right? So it's like, right out of that chorus goes, inside reminds me of what it all once was. I'll stand still so it's safe here for us. And there was an age when the snow days Cool. So the whole song is pretty much the same damn chords, besides that second verse. You gotta remember the second verse and also the intro. But the intro is kind of more like, you're kind of not even playing guitar yet. You're kind of just like, that's the part where I'm just like getting into the groove up there and like, you know, doing weird things with my feet and stuff. So yeah, got that part. Yeah, and then, you know, there's like pianos and synths and all this stuff that's on there production wise. But yeah, for the most part, my guitar chords are just like, should I do, I'll do a playthrough. I'll do a little playthrough. I'll play the song once through. This video's getting long, huh? Oh yeah, I'm like coming in dancing. bass note. Anyway, this video has gone on very long enough. Yeah, I love you guys. I hope you got something out of it. Yeah, maybe I should. Should I linger? I should linger. I'm gonna drink some coffee and I'll linger. I don't mind uploading a long video. Anyway, I want to talk about No Age Production a little bit, because it was definitely the first time that I think it's like the first time we tried to like intentionally go in and like write something with a simpler format. Like forever, for every band I've ever been in, like I wouldn't write verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Like some songs, that's what they ended up having, like Safe Hole and like stuff like that. But like I never really intentionally wrote it, and I was very defiant against like what a standard song format is, and which is cool. But at the end of the day, like people like the repetition of a chorus. Like it feels good. I like it. I like listening to a song that has a chorus. It's like catchy and like So I know with No Age, it was like the first time we intentionally were just like, this needs a verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And I was like, I want to do, like, me and the boys were listening to The Outfield a bit, and like we were referencing that a lot, like that vibe, and we were like, like that part of like the 80s, like a lot of the 80s are popular right now, right? And it's really funny thinking about that though too. Like a lot of like the actual 80s people hear and they're like, "Ooh, no, that's not what I like of the 80s," right? But anyway, 80s are like popular right now, and we like The Outfield and stuff. I grew up listening to like tons of like 80s rock, and yeah, it's just like I just want to like rip one of those like Joni's on a vacation far, where it's just like so we did, and yeah, I don't know. We were listening to the Drive soundtrack a bunch too, and there's this synth bass on there. It's just like do 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 do, and I was like, yeah, I want like an element like that, and I was like, we want big drums, and like this dude Taylor Larson reached out, and we were like, that dude does like huge drums and like the bass and the vocals, everything's huge. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty straightforward. We kept it as simple as possible, and that was like, I think that's the last song I wrote working at the shipyard. Definitely just a song about, just time passing by and just continuing to do the same thing that doesn't fulfill me. And that's why the video has me welding and stuff like that. And, the second verse I think is specifically, I like the second verse that I always write second verses last. Not always, but most of the time. And it was like a line that made it like present. It was a line about a dude in the band, my buddy Ty that plays drums. And it was like, Ty reminds me of what it all once was. Because he's kind of my context point in a lot of things. He's known me for a very long time, right? Through different eras of my life. And it makes it this like present moment thing where like every time I play that song with him, it's like, and Ty reminds me, and it like brings me into present, even playing the song. We're listening to the song later, like we recorded it like a year ago, like, and still I listen to it, and it's like, it brings me to now. So that was, I don't know, it's not that deep. Nothing we try to do is really that deep. So anyway, now I'm done lingering. I will sign off. Peace guys, have a good Monday or Tuesday, whenever I post this.